Hello YouTube, what's up? A while back I did a video of 15 albums or 10 albums released to critical reviews that were terrible. It's like 4 or 5 years ago, 4 years ago I think, and I did another one about the best albums, underrated albums during the grunge era. So this is another album or video I'm going to do about albums that I feel are underrated myself, that a lot of people either hate, never get credit for, or just, you know, feel disappeared. So the first one I'm going to talk about, I did this recently on my Testament ranking, so I don't need to talk about it too much. And I'm not going to put any videos in between here just because I'm running out of space on my phone. I got to delete shit, and I'll just put them in the description. So the first one, right in the middle of the grunge era, Low, Testament. I actually got right over here on the wall. I'll put a picture here. I can't get rid of the glare because it's right in front of a window, but I'll put the picture up here. I have the full band, Testament Low at the time, autographed. It says 1994 right on it. This is the album that started like moving away from grunge, thrash, and it's more like drop D tuning, a lot of more growly, kind of like death metal vocals thrown in here and there, but it's still a great record. Title track, Hail Mary, full of grace. You know, I talked about this on my ranking. Trail of Tears, about the Indians being forced to live on reservations. It's a great album. It's underrated, and I think that more people should listen to it and talk about it. Next up, from the same, 95, I think, Extreme, Waiting for the Punchline. Now this album is a far cry from the debut and Extreme 2, Porno Graffiti. It's definitely more of a darker, sinister album dealing with topics like fame, hip today, you'll be gone tomorrow. Talking about, you know, fame and fleeting fame, sort of how the band was at the time, coming off of Extreme 2 a few years before that. There Is No God, talking about how people think it's not an atheist song, but it's more like, look outside, there has to be some type of higher power, but a lot of people are still atheists, and, you know, from Gary Sharon's point of view, it's like, why, you know? And other songs I liked off here were Leave Me Alone, Evangelist. I think they're talking about all the televangelists on TV. They are pieces of shit. Unconditionally is a ballad at the end of the album. It's a very dark, slow album, and it definitely takes multiple listens, because originally I didn't like it that much, but now it's probably my third favorite Extreme record, and it's definitely grown on me, so check it out. That's Waiting for the Punchline. Next up we have what's playing in the background. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't turn it up too loud because it gets fucking copyright, but it's only usually in Belarus and Russia anyway, so whatever. And it don't affect my channel because I don't get enough viewership. Tokyo Blade, blackhearts&jadedspades. Now this is the album, third album I believe, from British heavy metal, new wave of British heavy metal band Tokyo Blade. Second with Vicky James Wright as a singer, who went on to sing for Johnny Crash a few years later. Another underrated band, by the way. And their first album with Vicky, Night of the Blade, was traditional power metal, new wave of British heavy metal. Their debut was same, really heavy metal, traditional new wave of British heavy metal. This one, it's glam. And you can check the back, it's definitely glam. And their next album with a different singer, I think it was their only record with him, I can't remember his name, it's No Remorse, is even glammier than this, but this album's way better than No Remorse. But this gets like a 1-star, I think, on AllMusic. I mean, Dirty Faced Angels, Undercover Honeymoon, You Are the Heart, which is one of the ballads off the album, is one of the highlights. Black Hearts and Jaded Spades is a great song. Black Hearts and Jaded Spades, Black Hearts. It's a cool, fast, heavy song. Dancing in the Blue Moonlight. Now this one is my favorite off the album. It's very different. It's still a ballad, but it's like a very soulful ballad. It's kind of the ones you would put it when you're in the mood for, you know, sex, or just putting on, I don't know, it's I wouldn't say it's like a soulful, I don't know, ballad, but it has that extra like vibe to it, making love to it, and has a great guitar solo. And a Playroom of Poison Dreams is another interesting, odd song. So most people hate this album, but I like it. It's not the best Tokyo Blade album. It would be the debut in my opinion, but it's definitely underrated, so check it out. Next up, maybe my most expensive album I have in my collection, not counting a box set or anything. That's Power Metal Pantera. Skid Row Pantera, I call them in this era. And I don't know why they disown. I can see why they disown the first 2 or 3, maybe even 3 albums, but this album here, it's really good. I mean, aside from the songwriting's kind of shitty. Like the last song was actually a Dimebags song, Pussy Tight 88. It's fucking terrible. But I mean, it's cheesy, but it's good sound. I love the sound of this record. You got Power Metal, Proud to Be Loud, dun, dun, off of I think it's Mighty Ducks soundtrack, but they didn't even put Pantera on the damn credits. It's like the Green Mummies or something like that. Down Below, Death Trap, Hard Ride. Those are all solid songs, but Look Out Down Below. I think one of these songs was also off of, maybe it is Down Below, or I don't know. I don't remember. It's off of I Am the Night, but they re-recorded it, and it's like, yeah, the songs are cheesy. They're not very well written, but the sound's awesome. It's like I said, Skid Row meets Pantera before Pantera went. They were glam. This is not really a glam record. This is a heavy metal record, and it's not groove metal that they would become known for. So it's like in that transition period, and I think it's great. I don't know why they disowned the fucking album. I can see why the first couple maybe, but that album's awesome. So check it out. Next up, I don't know why this album gets hate. It's sold well because it's Journey, but it's Raised on Radio from 1986. Journey's my second favorite band, and Steve Perry's my favorite singer. I still need to do a Journey ranking. I don't have the first couple albums, but who gives a shit? To me, they're not that great. I mean, you have Girl Can't Help It, Suzanne, which might be the most underrated Journey hit. It hit the top 20, I think. Suzanne. And then you got Be Good to Yourself, Nobody Else Will. That's a cool fucking song. I was in that Kevin Bacon movie with Sean Astin where they go hiking and then Kevin Bacon gets hurt. I think it's called Whitewater Summer. I'll Be Alright Without You, the ballad video they made a video for. I mean, it's just a great song. Why can't this night go on forever? It's a ballad to end the record. I think a lot of people were expecting more of Escape and even Frontiers vibe to this, and this is more has Steve Perry written all over it because it's a lot of poppy ballads. But I think it's awesome, and I can see why. Because if you listen to the earlier albums, this is more. It's still Journey, but it's more like on the poppy side. But I love it. It's my second favorite Journey record. And a lot of critics hate it, and a lot of Journey fans put it out below it, toward the bottom of the list, but I think it's great. And It Could Have Been You was just covered by a band that is like an AOR pop band, I forget the name. But Steve Perry actually joined in, and I think they made a video with Steve. I forget the band's name. It just came out last year, I think. It was really good. They did a great job. And Steve Perry even said it's one of the most underrated songs in the Journey catalog, and it's his favorite from that album. Next up, another group I have to do, got 2 more here, I have to do a ranking for. I have all the albums, but I just don't know what order to put them in, and that's Angry Machines, Dio from 1996. This is definitely a different type of Dio sound. It does less with the fantasy lyrics of all the previous albums, and it's more of a darker album. Angry Machines is a perfect, name for how the album sounds. Institutional Man is definitely like a Black Sabbath-esque vibe, like Heaven and Hell vibe. It's a great song. Black, it's very Black Sabbath-y also, and it's like black. It just says black as the chorus. Hunter of the Heart, Stay Out of My Mind. That's another song dealing with like stay out of my mind. I think it's dealing with like depression. It's been forever since I've listened to this album. So This Is Your Life, I think this is the ballad, if I remember right, at the end of the album. It's very dark, and it has a piano in it. if I remember correctly. It's been forever since, like I said, I listened to it. But it's a very, if you're looking for a Dio album and you're tired of hearing like Holy Diver, you know, Last in Line, Dream Evil, whatever, this one is probably his only album where it's, I mean, Lock Up the Wolves is still Dio and it's kind of poppier. That one's more poppy. This one is dark. So I don't think it's a great album. I think it's better than most people give it credit for. And again, people put it toward the bottom. I think it's more mid, like 5 or 6 in the list. But I think it's good. So last up, here's a band maybe not a lot of you know, but I put it out there because they had, I think they had 3 albums. They released one like 10 years ago, but they had 2 albums back in the 80s. White Wolf, they were from Edmonton, Alberta. And the first album almost sounds like a power metal, traditional metal album, sort of like new wave of British heavy metal sound, kind of that similar vibe. Now this one came out in Endangered Species and they turned it upside down. It's AOR and glam. So I prefer this album more. Most people would not. I just like the songs more on this album. And you can see it's like very glammy like. And I need to do an AOR ranking, whether it's Journey, Honeymoon Suite, Survivor. I did Harem Scarum, so I need another one. And this one is more like I said, keyboard heavy, poppy. They did a cover of Just Like an Arrow, straight through my heart by Magnum. Another great fucking band that nobody talks about, Magnum. And apparently they're going on tour even without Tony, I guess so. And the song She, they released a video for it. It's very, you know, AOR-ish and pop rock metal. One More Time, that's a cool one. Snake Charmer ends their album. It's more of like a slow bluesy type song. It's not really slow, but it's like it's AOR's blues combined kind of. But yeah, it's not a bad album. Time Waits for No One. The opening track's pretty good. You better run for your life. That's a cool song. So yeah, that's all the albums in this list. I'm definitely going to probably make it part 2. And since this was still laying here, I just made the video not too long ago. I'll just throw that out there. Check out the review for Queensryche Tribe. That would definitely have been in this list, but I made a whole video based on that because I think it's so fucking underrated. So that's all I'm going to do for today. Check out those albums. Do you know those albums? Do you like those albums? Do you hate those albums? Let me know what you think of these albums, and like I said, I'll make another part or 2 of this because I have so many fucking records and albums. So, as always, thanks for watching. I always like to be the voice of the voiceless, like bands that nobody talks about. I mean, like White Wolf, or albums that never get the credit they deserve. So, I'll put a video like I always do in the end. So, as always, please keep on fucking rocking. Retro Wanderluster out. Peace, and I'll see you soon.